Hi everyone, my name's Jamie and I'm a software engineer here at KISPE. So I've been here for about 4 years now, and my route into the industry is not orthodox. I don't really come from a technical background. I've worked at pubs and bookies and similar, and I'm pretty much a college dropout. So yeah, I had a bit of a rough upbringing, but I've always been good with computers and quite technically minded, so and able to wrap my brain around quite complex ideas. So I joined a coding club that our senior Paul here, Paul Mayador, was running as part of charity with his wife, Wham Youth, and yeah, he taught me a little bit of embedded C. I did a little bit at college. I've like a bit of coding, but never really got anywhere with it. But Paul saw some potential, and after a while, um, I basically was had the news that I was going to be a dad. So I came to Paul and was like, "Paul, help me out. I need a career. I've got to do something. Can't work in a pub the rest of my life, especially with a baby on the way." So he helped me out and did a little bit of freelancing for a while, did some websites and stuff, and then managed to get me in with a project with the University of Surrey in combination with KISP, actually to down select the and radiation test the processors um, that to help us select the processor we're now using for OSSAT. So yeah, I got in on that. It's like fish out of water, but managed to pull myself through, and here I am, writing flight software for OSSAT and other projects for KISP full time, and absolutely smashing it. So yeah. So it goes to show, like, no matter your background, if you've got the drive and the will to do it and the right mindset, you can get anywhere. The skill set I feel is important for a software engineer in the space industry would, as well as your technical skills and your ability to um, to take in complex ideas, is also the multidisciplinary aspect, because in the space industry you're writing software for hardware, so that's very embedded stuff. So you've got to have understanding of the electronics to some degree, and be able to read schematics. You've also got, as well as going with the multidisciplinary side, you've also got to be able to communicate with other members of the team, so like systems engineers and electronics engineers, to be able to all come together, because you're really bringing all these different skill sets together to create one end product, which is your satellite solution. So everyone needs to work together, otherwise it's not going to go as well. So those are skills you need, but just as important are soft skills, I find. So ability to work in a team, ability to lead, um, and the ability to speak out if you feel you need to. For example, if a project, if you feel like you won't hit a deadline, speaking, having the confidence to speak out and make a case that you feel you might need an extension on the deadline, will help a project manager manage the project to the point that you could probably have an extension or get extra help. But speaking out and having the ability to do that is much better than shutting down and keeping it in. So it's soft skills like that. I love working with the people I work with. They're all great. We have a laugh. Um, but it's also working on really cool stuff and just really getting my hands dirty and writing code. The cool thing about KISP is that you have the opportunity to really expand your skill set into other areas as well, with personal goals and stuff. So I'm looking at getting into a bit of electronics, but also expanding a little bit into the systems and also getting experience writing requirements and design. So more of the project management and kind of like architecture of how a project works rather than just writing code just to get something done. It's kind of like the more top down approach. So yeah.
Hi, my name's Olly, and I'm a year in industry student here at KISPE. My role is quite varied. I get involved with loads of different projects, from designing and 3D printing structures for our training satellite that's currently in development, to developing system modeling tools in Excel. So I get involved with those different things. I ended up in the space industry because I'm studying aerospace engineering at university. I always really enjoyed my space systems units in my first and second years. And so I knew that I wanted to kind of work in that industry. So in my third year, I decided to do a year in industry placement, which is a really great opportunity to get some work experience under your belt in the middle of your degree. So I was applying to loads of different space placements, and luckily KISP gave me an interview and it went well. And here I am. Yeah, I guess there's a perception in terms of just there to kind of make teas or coffees for people. I can say that I have never had to make tea or coffee for anyone here at KISP. All the work I do is interesting, exciting, stimulating. It's actually useful work. They're not just setting me work for the sake of setting me work. It's stuff that they need doing, and they are giving me the responsibility to do that work. So yeah, it's really great. I'd say my favorite thing is the variety that I get in what I do. Obviously, I'm still learning. I don't really know what I'm good at yet or what I enjoy most. So it's really nice to be able to try loads of different things, get involved with loads of different projects, so I can see kind of where my skills and interests lie. The space industry is such a fascinating industry. It's really awesome to get to kind of be part of it, I guess.
Hi, my name is Clara and I'm the office coordinator here at KISP. I handle the day-to-day operations and accounts for our busy client-focused office. I don't come from a technical background. My background is providing commercial and operational support to drive business growth across multiple industries. This is actually my first role within the space industry, but already I'm fascinated by how the work that we do can be linked to so many everyday life activities, and actually by how much technical knowledge I've picked up from the rest of my colleagues due to everyone's passion and enjoyment for what we do. I'm responsible for overseeing all administrative activities that facilitate the smooth running of the office, along with supporting the team and the managing director. For example, I coordinate all travel and event administration. I support with the recruitment of new staff, issuing contracts. I oversee the finance and accounts duties such as expenses, sales invoicing, accounts payable, preparing payroll, reviewing business insurance. Then we have the HR side, the staff development, the policies, procedures, and all of these tasks are essential for the general day-to-day running of the office, along with being a key point of contact for my colleagues. I definitely find myself wearing multiple hats each day. My role is very varied and also quite reactive to the different priorities at that given moment. I may start my day working on some sales invoicing and suddenly find myself booking flights or working on an event portal. So, being able to prioritize and work in a fast paced environment is key, along with a problem solving approach. Other key skills would be organization and time management, an eye for detail, especially in terms of finance, HR, contracts, being able to work as a team and having a passion and desire to learn more and self develop, being confident with engaging with a range of external customers, partners, suppliers. When people attend for meetings, you may be the first person that they meet, so it's really important to make a good first impression. And linking in with the above, having good interpersonal skills and being able to communicate effectively, both in writing and orally.
Hi, my name is Emily and I work as a graphic designer and creative content manager here at KISPE. I have a degree in graphic communication and I graduated in 2016. I'd been doing freelance work throughout my uni course and decided I wanted to go straight into the design industry. In September 2016, I landed a job as a junior digital designer within a local creative communications agency. I learned a lot on the job and started to have a look around at other jobs that were out there. I stumbled across a creative designer position, but it was very different to anything I'd ever seen before because it was within the space industry. So I literally applied, got the job, and that's what started my career in space. After working within that role for 5 years, I also worked at a defence company as a graphic designer, and then after that I moved here to KISP. I love the variety of my role as a graphic designer, not only in this current role, but across the other roles that I've done as well, because I'm someone that is creative across a few different disciplines, so I can do sort of digital design, print design, illustration, video and audio editing. It means no day is the same, and I really enjoy the fact that I don't just do graphic design, I do a bit of everything and I get involved in lots of different exciting things. One of the big things that I love about my role is the sheer amount of opportunities I've had to not only speak to people but to get my work out there. And some of my career highlights include making mission patches and designing and creating stickers for rocket nose cones, and also having my logo on a satellite that was launched from the ISS. So yeah, that's quite an exciting one, having a logo that I created on my laptop launched into space. Advice I have for people wanting to get into the space industry is to build your design portfolio with both client and non-client work, showing the sort of things you'd like to get into and are passionate about. I had the misconception, as do many others, that to work in the space industry you have to have a very scientific or academic based background, and that is absolutely not the case. In fact, there's actually a real range of roles within the industry and it really is growing. I've also kind of realised that I'm never going to know all the technical things and I don't have a space or a physics degree, and that's okay. It's okay to ask questions and to clarify things, and you cannot and will not know everything there is to know out there, and that's something that I try and remind myself. I think it's also important to get to know other designers, but also illustrators, animators, artists, editors, developers, all at different stages in their careers, because it doesn't matter what their level of expertise is, it is always worth asking them about their career paths. And I find most people are super keen to pass on their advice and knowledge.
Hello, my name is Kevin Manser and I am an electronics design engineer. I have been at KISS for nearly 2 years. My role primarily covers electrics and PCB electronics design for satellites and related projects. My design activities range from requirements capture and high-level design through to detailed design, build and test. The electrics activities include system topology design, definition of harnesses and wiring, and connectivity, also system integration and test. The range of activities for PCB electronics design is varied and encompasses multiple activities that includes designing the circuits with an emphasis upon reliability, and design work may include simulating circuits using a SPICE package. Then we select suitable components, which requires assessment of factors that affect suitability and reliability for operating in space. And in particular, we have to worry about operating temperatures, outgassing in a vacuum, radiation tolerance, vibration, and tin whiskers. Then we move on to schematic capture, which uses a CAD system. and then on to component derating assessment, which is the process of assessing the component stress levels to ensure that no components are operating near their limit, thus ensuring maximum reliability. PCB design is then done in-house in our CAD system. Hardware build then involves component procurement, including having the bare boards made, and then board assembly, which is either done using our in-house facilities or arranged with an external contractor. Then we move on to test and verification. Following build, boards must be tested to confirm correct functionality and performance. We are responsible for producing the verification documents and getting the tests done. All of the above activities must be correctly managed and relevant data recorded, so we are also responsible for writing the processes that control these activities. I always had an interest in space since my childhood, when the Apollo space program was grabbing the headlines. However, when starting my career, the dominant industries for technical roles in my area were defence and aerospace, and the UK space industry was much less prominent than now. Hence, I first worked in defence in an R&D role for equipment for the British Army, and in particular main battle tanks. As defence work reduced, I moved away from defence to the field of industrial cameras for radiation-tolerant applications such as nuclear power. As my time in that industry came to an end, I reconsidered my career path, and space was the most attractive option, so I subsequently joined KISPE to work on space projects. You need to be organised in your work and have a rigorous approach with attention to detail. This allows you to deal with the stringent requirements and consider multiple what-if aspects. This is all aimed at ensuring maximum reliability for the finished product, because you can't send a repairman to fix a satellite. You also need a reasonably wide skill set to cater for the range of design requirements already mentioned, along with additional aspects like EMC. Hence, versatility is very important. You also need to be a good team player, because there is significant interaction between colleagues who may be working in different disciplines. The willingness to learn and adapt is particularly important, but there is plenty of opportunity to learn from more experienced peers. And finally, and most important, you need to have an interest and enthusiasm for the role. I have always enjoyed designing and getting things built and working, and this role fits that precisely. The work is very varied because it covers a broad range of skills and activities, so it's always interesting. Indeed, the days often fly past, which indicates the work is enjoyable. If I have to name a specific item that I enjoy most, it's probably PCB layout, because it is a little like doing a puzzle, and achieving a good end result is very satisfying. However, there are several other activities that come a close second.